Oh, yeah, what's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and what is going on in the world of comics today? Today has been quite the interesting day of launches, and I'm just befuddled and baffled, and I really don't know what people are thinking right now when it comes to Marvel, when it comes to DC, when it comes to everybody, you know. So today marks the beginning of a new era in DC Comics, and they are calling it DC Rebirth, and it all centers around this man right here, Wally West. I think this is supposed to be Bart Allen, I don't know, but Wally West was Kid Flash for the longest time. And right around the time of Flashpoint Paradox, he disappeared. And we had the new 52 version of Wally West, which is basically like a cousin, where you know, the parents both honored the same grandparent, Wallace West. So, and he just happened to be, you know, interracial. I think he was like part black, part white, whatever it may be. Wally West has been lost in time for 4 years, lost in the Speed Force, if you will, and he is finally back and trying to escape, but he's having a really hard time. And basically what DC Comics is doing, oh yeah, by the way, spoilers, heads up. I feel like it goes without saying, but you know, it's in the title. But anyway, life went on without him because of Flashpoint. It brought on the new 52, which was basically a new beginning, a rebirth, as DC Rebirth is a reboot of the Marvel. I'm sorry, the DC Comics universe, and you know, that brought on the new 52, all the different runs, everything starting over. And, you know, I think for a lot of people, there was some disappointment, there was some excitement. I don't know why we're rebooting again 4 years later, but we are. Actually, I know exactly why. Because they've completely turned everything into just a gigantic cluster of. I mean, right now, DC Comics is hurting as far as I'm concerned. Their story is just so disjointed. They veered off of too many paths that they cannot get out of. And it's unfortunate because I really care about a lot of these characters. So basically what they're taking advantage of this opportunity to go ahead and reboot and merge everything that happened before with everything that happened in the new 52, and start to get these characters back to where they were, all while bringing in some of the new stuff that the Flashpoint kind of brought on to the universe. So it all kind of starts with Batman and Wally West. He tries to first latch on to Batman, and Bruce Wayne does not remember him. He leaves a note that his father had written behind, and you know, that brings us to something later in the comic that we will. It's basically, I think, what a lot of people, myself especially included, are upset about when it comes to this book. I don't mind bringing the two universes together. There's a lot of things they changed that I just wasn't a fan of. Basically, the only two that remember anything are, you know, Wally West. You know, the only universes that were not supposed to have been impacted were Green Lantern and I thought the Batman, but I guess not. In any event, everything's evolved to a point where they are now. And so basically, you know, Wally is looking to tether out any way he can. He hunts down his old girlfriend. Which one is she? I'm pulling out the book now. His old girlfriend is Linda Park. who we saw in Flash this year. And she doesn't remember him. Goes into meet with this really old guy who might be a member. I don't know exactly who he's supposed to be, but he might be a member of a group that I'll talk about later. And then we see the Atom is lost. We see the new Blue Beetle. We see Superman is dead. We see all these different characters. We see Green Arrow and Black Canary don't even really know who each other are, yet they feel like something's missing, and it's each other. Clark Kent finds out that he has a son now, apparently, and he finds out that there's something up with him. We see Aquaman propose to Mara, so there's like a lot of crazy stuff going on. They show Wally West, and he is being the new Wally West. He's being the Flash, doing his thing. But last but not least, the last person that Wally West goes to is the Flash, the real Flash, Barry Allen. Now, Barry Allen is his uncle, I believe. So Barry doesn't remember him at first, and Wally is kind of given up at this point. He knows that his time is limited and that the Speed Force is going to take him, kind of like what we saw in the Flash this season. And he knows that he doesn't have much time, and right as he's about to fade away, Barry finally remembers, and that brings out the Flashpoint. Now, the one thing, or the merger, the change, I guess. So Wally West is out of the Speed Force, but he's basically explaining what happened with the Flashpoint that caused it all. It was basically Barry Allen going back in time and preventing his mother from being killed. Now, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the season finale of The Flash, that is basically what he does at the very end this episode, is goes back in time and he saves his mother. So, there's a lot of things to really consider about this. That is what changed the whole paradox, how that shifted in. But Wally has discovered that was not the only singular event that caused the actual change in the paradox, that somebody else is at play. Now, this is where things, like, honestly, up until this point, the only thing that I was really struggling with was the fact that they were establishing that there was multiple versions of the Joker. That the Joker wasn't just one person. The Joker was, in fact, 3 people. I'm trying to find the Joker here. All right, there we go. So, there's the older era Joker, there's the Killing Joke Joker, and then there's the new 52 Joker. They are all 3 different people. So there are 3 Jokers, and Batman is confused by it. So that part I don't like. I just, it's too cheesy. I don't buy it, and I really wish they didn't do that. As is the case with Batman right now, or Captain America right now, there's a part of me that's like, all right, we just got to see it through. So let's just see what's up. But that was honestly, up until that point, I could get behind most of the stuff that they were doing. But the ultimate failure for me is that they took a property that they owned, that up until this point had existed within its own universe. They were their own thing, and they didn't, blend together with the DC characters, the DC superheroes, I should say, and that's the Watchmen. Okay, so basically, Wally keeps going on and on about there's somebody else at play here, and the somebody else that's at play, that's shifting and changing the universe and merging everybody together, is none other than Dr. Manhattan, that blue, naked son of a... So, for me, part of the allure of the Watchmen was the fact that they were the Watchmen. They didn't exist in the Marvel Universe. They didn't exist in the DC Universe. They were their own thing. And, I guess events I did not read before Watchmen, but I guess there are some events that happen within it that kind of lead up to everything. And I really loved them kind of just being their own thing, you know, like we really didn't need this. And I think that's what I'm saying about Captain America today as well. We didn't need this. Is it possibly an intriguing story? Should I see it through? Do we need to just give them the chance to tell their story? No, I don't really think so. And, you know, it's just one of those things that was just, maybe it turns out great, but maybe it turns out awful. And they're not really batting 1,000 right now. I mean, their batting average is definitely not even in the league leaders. So I'm really just confused as to why this needed to happen. Well, other than sales. You know, they're basically just trying to carry in and bring in all sorts of new sales. So what happens when Dr. Manhattan goes up against, you know, Superman? You know, what happens for all this, you know? How about the comedian versus the Joker? Or Rorschach, you know, like, versus Batman. You know, like, it's some crazy stuff. I get that. You know, it's the type of stuff that we do videos about who would win a fight between Deadpool and Deathstroke, you know? Like, those are the type of things we talk about, but to put them in the same universe is something completely different. And that is where I don't know if I can get behind it. Like, it's both stories, you know, both stories have, you know, some kind of, you know, there is something to it, you know, like, I can see where it would be intriguing, but they're just not stories that I want to get behind. They're not directions I really want to see them go. I'm not interested in it, and therefore, I'm not going to give my money for it. And I just, maybe I'm overthinking things, but like, I feel like they're running out of ideas, and they're just doing things for reaction at this point, you know? Like, I think I was okay with them merging the two universes together, and they could have found a way to do it without incorporating the Watchmen. It's okay to leave the Watchmen in a separate universe, you know? They don't have to exist here. But that's the direction they're going. So, you know, DC Universe Rebirth is a one-shot. It's got a lot of big names on it. Jeff Johns, Ethan Van Sciver, you know, tons of others. You know, Frank, Reese, Jimenez, Prado, Santorelli, Anderson, Wright. I don't recognize some of them, but I know, you know, the first two are definitely, you know, huge, especially Jeff Johns. And, you know, generally Jeff Johns is a guy that I would trust, you know, with anything. I love Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and I'm struggling understanding why we need to go this direction. The 3 Joker thing is just ridiculous, and, you know, these cash-in reboots have got to stop. Like, they really got to, like, figure out what they're trying to do and just do it and just live with it. You know, bringing New 52 back into the old universe, I'm okay with that. Like, I can get behind that. But I want these classic heroes to be the classic heroes. I don't want to see ridiculous new takes on Captain America and Superman, you know? Like, it's so weird seeing, you know, Lex Luthor in his, you know, suit, and for Action Comics #1 that's coming up here, in his suit, but it's got a Superman logo on it, you know? Like, maybe these will be interesting stories. Like I said, should I give them an opportunity? Maybe. But do I want to? No. Do I have to? No. I'm not gonna lie, I came out of DC Rebirth, you know, feeling a lot better than I thought I would, but the difference, you know, the Dr. Manhattan bit is really just too much for me. I don't need to see the Watchmen as part of the DC Comics universe. Maybe I'm alone. Maybe you guys will hear it and you're like, yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be awesome. You know, those characters will be great. They'll fit really great they'll do great things. And that very well could be the case. I could see it going that way. Don't get me wrong. But, like, for me, like, the crazy allure of those characters was that they existed in a world where Superman and Batman did not exist. And there aren't many worlds like that. So, I'd love to know what you guys think. If you did read DC Rebirth, give me your thoughts. And we'll see ya.